So here's my setup for sharpening the blades. I'll clamp them in the vise. And I've got another board over here holding the outboard end of it. And I've got my 4.5 inch grinder set on low speed. And I'm going to work my way down the teeth, just gently refreshing the surface on them. Okay, once I've got them, most material knocked away, then I'll just hit it with a stone, remove the sharp edges, and then on the back side, take the burr off. So I'll repeat this for the rest of this blade, flip it over to the other side, and do the other one as well. So I brought now that I've got the blade sharpened up, I brought the assembly into the garage. I'm going to try to squirt some grease in through this access port back here and see if I can get it to come out around this bearing so I don't have to try and strip this head apart. So I've got basically a syringe that's packed full of grease. I'll stick it in there and plunger it down, and sure enough, gave me a nice squirt of grease out here. So it's looking pretty good. That's the old stuff coming out. What I really want to see is that nice, clean looking grease coming out. There, that's perfect. Now we got the good stuff coming out this side. I'm going to take this excess, work it into there. Take my spoon, put a nice full coating down on the inside. Make sure this thing's packed full of lovely new grease. Wipe this part, wipe the old grease off, check their. Alright, I've got everything tightened up down the line. I need to get this end put back together again. So get some through bolts down here with bushings on them. And let's see, there's the cover. All these in place. Washer here. bolt and a spacer right through there, and a nut on the back side. Started. And we got a spacer, another one of those bolts, and a washer on the other side. Just put that in there. Comes through. This nut goes on there. Started. There's our tins. Let's put our little wrench on there. One. The other. All right. Take stock of what we got left. This little plastic piece, which is like a grease cover, guide. That's right there. Tap into place. Got the 4 screws that hold this cover on. Oh, we got one more bolt and put a nut on it. That screw's got to come out because it goes over the top of this cover. But we've got one more screw that needs a nut right there, and have to go make sure it's not out in the driveway or drop somewhere, but if not, I'm sure I could find one in the back garage. We'll put that in, and then we can then put the cover back on with everything buttoned up. So I didn't find the nut out in the driveway. It may have bounced out here in the garage, but I just opened up my supply of M5 components, and there's a regular nut. Let's see if we can do a little bit better. Maybe we can find one with a washer head on it. Big washer heads, but I don't know if I want to use those. Also settle for a locking nut. There's a lock nut. That might be a number 10. Take a look. I got a couple possibilities here. So let's see. There you go. Just use this locking nut. So put that grease plug out. That's the one to go in there. Well, I'll say it is. Maybe I need. Nope, there we go. Lined up perfectly. On the back side, and we'll switch to the handheld screwdriver blade. We'll switch to the handheld screwdriver blade. T27 Torx. Put in there and run that down tight. Now the one thing I want to check is to make sure that we can rotate, that the head rotates and functions properly. So a screwdriver, Phillips head screwdriver up in here, and a bigger one. And right now it is tight, so I'm going to loosen up all the bolts I've got and kind of start tightening in sequence to make sure I don't have something in a bind here. So go down the line and see if everything's, see that little washer for this one's not seated properly. The rest of them look good. No, there we go. And we'll try again. Oh yeah. She turns. It's a little tight. Of course, my hand's greasy and struggling to get a grip on the screwdriver. So we'll check the rest of them off camera, make sure everything works properly, and then we can button it, clean up this cover, and put this plastic cover here and button it up. Alright, so I'm cleaning this cover up. I use the screwdriver bit on my drill very carefully to have it turn the head, or drive the head through the shaft drive. And I say very carefully because these cutting heads were moving back and forth, and I didn't want to get my reach over there and try and grab it, so be very cognizant of that. But it went through the full motion around several times, so it looks good. I'm just pulling this old grease out of this end, at least the majority of it. I might not get all of it. And there, we got a good bearing there. A sealed unit, so don't have to worry about it too much. Alright. Wipe out the extra. Alright, there it is, all cleaned up. So I put this gasket on here. Put that out of the way. This gasket on here, we got this thing full of fresh grease. Another dab in here. Cover's got a couple of alignment pins on it. So they line up with the dowels, I guess. So they line up with the corresponding holes. And we've got 4 matching screws. These are different. They're not a machine screw. It's more like a sheet metal screw. Those in. Oops. Switch blades here, or switch bits. Alright. Flip back over this way. So we've got this screw right here. That was our 10mm socket. Tighten that up. And we've got, what else? This cover. Goes there. With that plug in there and one of these sheet metal screws down here. Plug, there we go. Alright, that is it. Just my extra washers and stuff that I picked up along the way. I'll go ahead and adjust these and take it out for a test drive. GoPro, stop video.